it go? Find anything?
Nothing substantial, unfortunately. But we had the weirdest experience.
So I take it that the war's still on? That's okay. I just wasn't sure, because things seemed to be at a standstill while you were gone. The Abyss Order hasn't attacked us, and since we don't know what they're planning, we haven't made a move either. In a word, it's a stalemate. The guards have been keeping watch around the clock, but for everyone else, you wouldn't even know we're at war.
Huh. Really makes you wonder what the Abyss Order's thinking.
I was wondering, Traveler, if you have the time, could you go and pay a visit to the guards? They've been working a pretty demanding schedule. I was gonna go see them myself, but I'm sure they'd appreciate a visit from the greatest hero of our time.
Oh, but you're a great hero too, Yan-san.
Great. Thanks, you two.
Wow! Tumaini, our hero. We've actually fought together before. You probably don't remember it, though. You do? Then it's truly an honor to serve alongside you once more.
Thank you for standing guard this whole time.
It's all good. Honestly, it's not been that much work. Haven't heard a peep from the enemy. Nothing that would indicate an impending attack. I've spotted a bunch of Abyss Order operatives, but they weren't acting hostile, just hanging around. There were even moments when they seemed to be meditating. At least, that's what it looked like to me. Maybe it's part of their religion or something. Out of an abundance of caution, I asked some shamans from the tribe to take a look and see if there was anything nefarious at work. But they didn't sense anything untoward, so we just put it down to religious ceremony and left them to it.
Huh. Interesting. Oh well, the more time they spend meditating, the less time they spend trying to beat us to a pulp.
Well, the shamans didn't raise any concerns, so how bad could it be? As far as I'm concerned, so long as they don't pose an active threat, they can do all the cult worship activities they want. Besides, as soon as everything's in place and we're ready for an all-out offensive, there'll be no match for us.
Huh. Sounds like morale is pretty high. Guess there's strength and confidence in numbers. Let's keep going, Traveler.
Besides, as soon as everything's in place and we're ready for an all-out offensive, there'll be no match for us.
Huh? Is that Tumaini? What brings you here? Is this, like, a meet and greet? I wasn't... I'm so nervous.
Hey, come on! You'd march to war without so much as blinking. What's so scary about a chat with a Traveler, huh?
It's not the same thing at all. There are plenty of chances to go to war. But a one-on-one chat with our great hero? That could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. How can I not be nervous? What if I say something wrong? Or if my posture's bad? Or if I accidentally make a weird expression with my face? One bad impression can stick for life.
No one's here to judge you on your posture or your facial expressions. Relax!
All right, then. I'm sorry, great hero, but I have a small favor to ask.
What Paimon guess? An autograph, right? That's easy.
May I challenge you to a fight?
What? How can you be so audacious and so sheepish at the same time? Huh. Paimon's starting to think your nervousness is all just an act.
No, of course not. I just figured that if I don't ask now, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. But I am still on patrol, so please, Great Paimon, if you wouldn't mind taking over for me for just a few minutes?
Ugh, again with the sheepish audacity. Just pick one or the other, will you?
Ugh. Obviously, I never expected to win, but until now, I didn't appreciate just how great the gulf was between us. I'll be bragging about the day I got to spar with Tumaini for the rest of my life. Today's really my lucky day.
Oh, Paimon can't keep up with you. Your tone has changed all over again. Now you've had a spar with the Traveler. What gives?
Well, some people connect through conversation, but we warriors bond by sparring. And now that I've had a bout with the hero, we're no longer strangers. Nothing to be nervous about anymore.
Okay. Well, to each their own. But Paimon's still gonna stick to conversation.
Not at all. We haven't spotted any new enemy movements.
As Paimon expected, nothing here either. Let's do another lap and get back to Yan-san.
You're back. So, did the guards find anything?
Nothing much, no. Someone mentioned that the Abyss Order has been doing some kind of meditation or prayer, but apparently it seemed harmless. Paimon wants to lodge a complaint about one of the guards, though. His name's Kentalo.
Traveler? You're back already? And no one thought to wake me up, huh?
In fairness, you look pretty hungover. Can't imagine anyone wanting to wake you up in that state.
I'll have you know I'm perfectly sober when I'm hungover. Okay. I'll admit that sounds strange at face value, but regardless, what I meant to say is, I heard something about the Abyss Order engaging in meditation.
Yeah, that's right. Does that mean anything to you, CITLALI?
I sensed something strange in my dream. It was vague, but it seemed as if some noise had found its way into Natlan's ley lines.
Oh, what does that mean?
Hard to say. I don't think it had any tangible effect on the Night Kingdom or on our ley lines, but still, it's like a signal that exists on a different dimension of reality. It might not interfere with ours or pose any detectable risk, but I just get the sense that something strange is going on.
Oh. So even someone as familiar with the ley lines as you can't tell what's going on. No wonder the shamans that Satura called to the front lines couldn't sense anything.
Ian-san, I think we should go talk to the chiefs. There's no point dragging this out. We need to take the initiative and drive the Abyss Order out of Natlan for good.
If that's the Council of Granny Eatsley, I'm sure the chiefs will agree. But it will still take us some time to gather the required force. In war, adequate planning and preparation is the key to victory.
Sure, but the finer details aren't my concern. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Just remember to come find me when you're ready to talk to the chiefs. Oh? Sure, what is it? Huh, you mean only select individuals can see them? Now that's a strange one. I guess they could be manifestations of a disturbed psyche? Or extreme negativity embodied in physical form? It could also be a simple case of dead monsters whose souls got stuck here somehow. Well, I say simple. Things quickly get confusing when you start looking into monster souls. For starters, trying to figure out which classification system to use is a real pain in the...
All right, we get it. Granny Eatsley's learning and wisdom knows no bounds. But could we just get the short answer?
Hey, I was just thinking out loud. You really think I was just trying to flaunt my knowledge? Anyway, the short answer is... there are many potential explanations for the kind of phenomenon you describe. That said, it's not something I've ever encountered in all my years.
Whew, wow. Okay. Well, if Granny Eatsley's never seen it, it might as well not exist, right?
Hey, I'm not that old!
Care to elaborate on what happened? This all sounds rather mysterious.
Really? You had to hold her hand to see the monsters? Sounds a little contrived.
Huh? That's the part that bothers you?
Maybe the point is more that it requires direct physical contact, whether that be hand-holding or otherwise. But that's neither here nor there. What bothers me is, it sounds like she's convinced that your sibling, the leader of the Abyss Order, is a savior. That really makes me question whose side this girl is on, and whether what she told you about her background is actually the truth. Sorry if that comes across as paranoid. It's just hard not to be suspicious of everything when we're in the middle of a war.
Actually, Paimon feels like you make a fair point.
Whoever this girl is, she sounds like bad news.
Okay, well, you're clearly just jumping to conclusions.
It's hard to know what to make of it. A young lady all by herself, lost in the middle of nowhere, sees monsters that no one else can, calls the leader of the Abyss Order her savior. At the very least, we should remain vigilant. Keep a close watch on her.
Sounds sensible. On that note, we probably shouldn't have left her by herself in that cave.
Traveler, we still need some time to muster our forces. Maybe you could check on her if you're not busy. Just be careful.
It's settled then. Let's go check on her.